For those that are just listening, my mouth is like to the floor.
It's a mind-blowing experience just having this. Robin and I were calling this is like your Jedi handbook.
Thank you.
It feels like that for everybody listening or watching. It just feels like a Jedi. I think everybody should have it.
They said, what is the benefits or transformative experience if you practice a long time with Qigong? And there are tons of stories. People who practice Qigong, they get healed from chronic disease.
That is crazy. And you can feel it. You can actually feel
really feel it. So what happens when you're thinking? Because that's the interesting thing. We didn't shake our hands or pull in our fingers. In other words, we didn't put any external force on our fingers.
The power within us is so strong. And so if you can channel it in this way for healing and for good, then you can truly transform your life. And you were able to activate your life force in such a way that you could unlock the power of love, power, healing, and wisdom. You can. We're talking to renowned Qigong Master and healer Robert Peng, who embodies the power of this ancient healing tradition and has been teaching and sharing it with the world for decades. Qigong is magic. And Robert's story is nothing short of remarkable. Picture this. It's 1972 in an industrial city in China, and a frail boy with a heart condition secretly befriends an elderly hotel boiler room attendant. What he didn't realize then was that he had just met his destiny. That attendant turned out to be a legendary Qigong master who would transform Robert's life forever. Think of Robert as a real-life Jedi, using the profound dimensions of the life force, or Qi, integrated with Western sensibilities. He has gone on to teach hundreds of thousands of people and change lives forever. So what is Qigong and how can you use it? You're going to want to know because it can help you find your true self, improve your relationships, and infuse every part of your life with vitality and love. Let's dive into this miraculous spiritual adventure. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Robin. Happy to see you here.
Same. Wow. And that story that Robin told at the beginning, your story, it feels like it should be a movie. Looking back, I'm sure that's how it feels to you and where you've come from. But can we just start at the very beginning? Because we have been excited about this conversation for a long time. So many of our friends and listeners have asked us to do this episode on Qigong. So can you talk about what it is and how it came to you and how it has transformed your life?
Qigong are two words. Qi is, we have thousands of books even written explain what Qi is. And to make it simple, it's essential energy. And it's the energy that makes things as it's supposed to be. The most essential part of the energy that made who we are. And nowadays, we're talking about quantum physics. And it's exciting because it's getting very close to explain what Qi is. Some say Qi is material, but we find that when we are in deep meditation, the Qi is very powerful. So it's both spiritual and material. So when you say about material, it's some essential matter. That matter flows into our body, flows into this universe. And some matter you cannot see, some you can see. Now we know. We have submatters, we have countermatters, and we have the matter we can see, yin and the yang, to embrace together with what Qi is. So the vital energy, the most essential part of the energy that makes us, look at me, look at you, look at everybody. We're all made the same of molecule or atoms, but why everybody is different? We say Qi is different. In Chinese, we have a word to say Qi zhi. The quality of Qi is different. Even twins, they have difference. Maybe you cannot recognize through their experience, but underneath, of course, there's huge difference between even the twins. Identical, you can see no difference, but they have huge difference. That's the quality of Qi is different. So when we talk about human beings, it's the Qi that flow inside the body. Because Qi in the broad sense is everything, right? Everything is made of the energy. Of course, when we say Qigong, we're talking about energy flow inside. Every organs have Qi, every cells of Qi. So when we practice, we cultivate energy between organs and make them harmonize. And also every organ has whole different emotions. So when we want to harmonize emotions, you need to actually harmonize the energy of the organs. So we have a lot of exercise to cultivate this kind of energy. We call it Qi. Actually, in ancient times, different cultures, they have different understanding of Qi. In India, in yoga, they call it prana. Prana is Qi. Reiki, spiritual chi. In Egypt, they call it kai or ki, ki. So I think in ancient times, because the external science and technologies are not so developed, so where they are more aware of cultivating internally, then really have beautiful insight about energy flow. One understanding about Chinese acupuncture meridian, all this chart, all these flows between organs to the fingertips, organs to the toes, are some meditator, always say Qigong masters. They, in the deep meditation, they put down the energy flow. Nowadays, they do some experiment and find it is flowing that way. So that's the energy, that's the qi. Gong means practice. When I say Gong Fu, maybe you don't know too much, but if I say Kung Fu, everybody knows it. Actually, Gong means Kung Fu. Or Kung Fu, nowadays, if we say Kung Fu, we know it's martial art, right? From Bruce Lee, from Jackie Chan, Jet Li, all this, they are famous for Kung Fu, Kung Fu. Actually, Kung Fu originally, it doesn't mean martial art. It means some dedicated time or exclusive time that you are dedicated. Say, you can say, it takes me 2 hours of Kung Fu to write this poem. It took me 20 years of Kung Fu to make this big project. So Kung Fu, dedication, focus, practice, on and off. Of course, martial art, these are the Kung Fu. This kind of
I
dedicated
didn't know
time.
that. That's really interesting.
So that's Kung Fu. That's what Kung Fu means. We're still using this way. We're still using Kung Fu as a sometime. We can say, oh, Robin, I haven't seen you for a long time. Do you have some Kung Fu that we can have a cup of tea? Meaning, do you have some time?
Interesting. That's
Not
such a
martial art.
different
Totally
way of,
different.
that's such a different way of you just using that terminology.
Think of Kung Fu as a practice, right? It's like a
It
physical
is
practice.
practice, not just time. Have you heard about Kung Fu tea?
No.
Kung Fu tea. Kung Fu tea it's not that you're doing Kung Fu, then drinking tea. Kung Fu tea in Chinese way is normally teacups are huge, but the Kung Fu teacups are tiny, like a little shot. So they have a little pot, they put water and put the tea, then you sip it. You sip it. And normally if you say, shall I have Kung Fu tea, meaning you're going to spend quite a good time, a long time. Slow, meditative, not for thirst, but for experience of the aroma of this beautiful subtleties of the tea. That's the way we call it Kung Fu tea, meaning you spend quite a good down-earth time, downtime of enjoying your tea with little shots. And my wife and I, we do this a lot, almost every day. Sometimes it can be 2 or 3 hours. It's just like chatting and drinking, making the tea, drinking, stop, and short, maybe 20, 30 minutes. But still, for tea, 30 minutes is a long tea.
Wow.
Kung Fu tea. So practice, Gong means practice, meaning dedicated practice. So put it together, Qigong means the practice of energy cultivation. Energy cultivation.
Gotcha. Just in what you've shared with us, though, it reminds me how much these Chinese practices are so much about being present and really tuning into not only the body, but also the energy that is flowing through it. And so all of these things that we're going to be talking about is very much about learning how to understand how our body and our energy all work together and how we can utilize these practices to remind ourselves to be more present. So thank you for sharing that. I love you broadening our horizons even past the Qigong here.
Thank you. So that's Qigong. For me, myself, my story is, well, long ago now. This year I'm 60, so it's 50 years ago.
Can I just say, I'm sorry for people who can see you, but if you can't see Robert, there's no way. You look.
I agree. You are really living and embodying all of this. You can tell because you look so young.
Thank you.
And we know age is just a number, but really unbelievable.
And there is truly an energy that comes from you.
Thank you. That's one of the most charming things about practicing Qigong. They say, what is the benefits or transformative experience if you practice a long time with Qigong? And there are tons of stories. People practice Qigong, they get healed from chronic disease. Some people, they are depressed, they find the meaning of life. Yeah, one of my patients is just chronic fatigue syndrome for years, and they practice Qigong just for a few months, they feel totally recovered. Bottom line is that it keeps us young. But young is not just appearance, it's from inside out. Because when you can refresh your internal organs qi, meanwhile you refresh your cells and tissues qi. Our experience, our muscles are composed of all these tissues and cells. So when they are refreshed, meaning they're kept young, of course you look young. But it's not only that, but internally you are always opening the eyes and be amazed with the energy, with the life force. When I wake up, I don't hurry to get up. One thing I do, the routine, I begin to bring my awareness to different part of my organs, not randomly, in a sequence, starting from lung, with a sequence, lung, large intestine, stomach, and spleen, then heart, then small intestine. Why in this course? And end with liver. Because according to the bio clock, our body have some peak time associated with some organs, like 3 o'clock. The peak time that energy flows the most is the lung. So 3 to 5, lung. The large intestine is 5 to 7. They say our energy channel is like circle, with the blood and qi are like a little cargo. 3 o'clock, they go fill the gas station. 24 hours, every 2 hours, we focus on one. So in the morning, I want to wake them up with awareness. I do it within 20, 30 seconds. Or if I have more time, I do with the meditation, breathing the energy to head, because top head, then I send to, say for example, lung. I send energy of lung to connect with the index finger and bring it up, large intestine. Then stomach all the way to the feet, to the toes. This keep them refreshed. Why things getting old? Why things getting dirty? You don't wash it. You wash it, it keeps it clean. But if you want to keep it young, you wash with the mind. So that's the beautiful things. I feel so blessed that I have the chance that I can meet my master. Because in ancient times, this kind of practice are quite esoteric. When the emperor, when the royal family knows the value, they want to keep it exclusive. My family doesn't practice. That's why I said I was so fortunate that I can meet my master, not because of the lineage from my family or heritage from my family. It's because of Cultural Revolution. In China, Cultural Revolution, we call it 10 years disaster. From 1966 to 1976, 10 years of Cultural Revolution. Religious were banned, a lot of traditional buildings, temples are just destroyed. My master, he was a monk. He grew up as an orphan. So his family is in the monastery. So when the Cultural Revolution started, the villagers, the mountaineers, took over the monastery, and all the monks were just driven away. Some monks, they have family, they have relatives, they go there, return to be laymen. My master has no family, so he wandered. Then he found a home in my hometown, which is this iron steel plant. Maybe it's hard for you to imagine. The whole factory will have 20,000 workers, together with the family, together with children and all the administrators. There's 100,000 people. We call it the town of factory. Of course, they are like very sophisticated. We have 2 high schools, we have 1 university, we have 6 primary schools.
Wow.
And countless kindergartens. They all belonging to this factory. We call it Shantan Iron and Steel Plant. 1957, at that time, China and Soviet Union are very good relationships. They built up this factory, so we settled there. So this is the big campus. And he was working there as a boiler room attendant. Boiler room attendant is a very low paid job, temporary job. But of course, he made it home. He made his home even in the boiler room. I got sick, then I have to leave the school, boring at home myself, and I went there. I went to that boiler room, actually for the purpose of watching the fire. Little boy likes to watch fire because the furnace is huge.
That is so interesting. That was the beacon that drew you in.
And I'm sure it was the energy, not just from the heat and the fire, but I'm sure it was his own energy that was drawing.
We knew him a little bit before, but nobody knew he's a senior monk, a legendary healer and top martial artist. Nobody knew that. The only thing we knew from my parents, they say, oh, Mr. Tan is very nice. nice. So it's just nice people. So I went there very intimidated as a little boy and watched the fire. Then he saw me, oh, you want to watch the fire? She asked,
Got
what
you.
happened to you? Why did you go to school? Blah, blah, blah. I got sick. I cannot go to school. He paused for several minutes. I felt a long time. He looked at me. Actually, he was doing healing.
Oh, wow.
It's the gazing power. It's very advanced healing. He's just using his gazing power, sending the layer of energy.
And in doing that, do you think that he could see your illness in you?
I think so. He's good at finding you the root, how your problem is happening. And then we chat. And so he said, you can come here again anytime. So I come again and come again. And then one day from nowhere, I said, do you want to practice? We say wushu, means martial art in Mandarin, kung fu. Do you like martial art? Of course, I can teach you. Oh, now you can teach me, because he looks so ordinary. As you can imagine, if he's walking with another two men on the street, the robber may take him as the first one to attack, which would be very wrong, I think.
What was the first thing he taught you?
Horse stance. This is horse stance.
Horse stance.
Oh,
Like
wow.
you're riding a horse, low position. Focus on lower dantian, 20 minutes. The
20
first
minutes?
time, 20 minutes is after 2 minutes, I begin to shake, sweat. And so every day before I started practice, that's the practice we go.
And what was the reason you think, now looking back, why did he teach you that? Or was it just using your mind and your body, like making the mind-body connection?
This horse stance is what we call this, is training your heart, Qigong, make you vitality strong. We have different energy center, upper dantian, they collect energy of wisdom. So when the energy is strong and healthy here, you are guided. You make good decisions. You don't know why. It's just like good ideas, good decisions. Clairvoyance, yes. Middle dantian holds the energy is loving qi. So if you're loving,
This is like your
yes,
heart?
this whole area, the extension of the arms. When you meet an old friend, you hug them, right? That is the extension to show your loving qi. Upper dantian is different. Upper dantian, the extension of all the ears, the faces. We have third eyes, we call third eyes. In my understanding, we should call it first eye, right? So when we bond, that's the first to start. Then extensions, all this collect informations and go into the center like a super powerful computer to process. Then they give you amazing way of making decisions, see things more clearly in a wise way. So we call it the center of wise, center of loving. And then lower dantian, below the navel, that connects with the vitality qi. So when the qi is strong, you feel vital. You're like juicy fruit. You just want to move. You want to be active. You are charismatic. You have good health. So the purpose he trains me this first one because I was in a poor health. So after several weeks, at first it's challenging. So it's intimidating for me. I was saying, is he really a big master or he's just a bully? So he sees that. Then he thought he may need to do something to show me. So one day I went there. He said, go to get an axe, big axe. He just chop on here.
He wanted you to hit him with the axe?
I hit it. I was very hesitant. Boom. Here's a harder. Boom. More and more harder. Just try as hard as you can. Of course, I tried a few times. It didn't hurt him. I just swing it. Bang. Nothing happens. His right mark disappeared.
What?
Not only that, afterwards he put on his clothes and say, look at the trees. The third tree outside is still dripping from fresh cut. This is a bit mysterious. One of the spiritual kind of practice, we say 小搬运. You can move things. So at the moment I was chopping him, he's moving the wood, moving the tree in front of me. I was chopping the wood instead of his chest.
Wow. My mouth is, for those that are just listening, my mouth is like to the floor.
It's a mind-blowing experience, but he got your attention very quickly to show you a practice that was very advanced, but to get you on board with him so you really knew he was a master.
Wow, my God, that's amazing. So I was more diligent. Then one day I was doing horse stance, expecting hard. Then I was in a trance. Then I forgot the time. I forgot how difficult it is. It's like you're in a dream. So then I come back. 4 hours.
4 hours?
4 hours. He was very pleased. And he said, that means the lower dantian qi are anchored. That was the time I think I was healed already. You know, when you have pain, you remember all the time. When it disappears, you forgot you have pain.
Yes, that's right.
It's the disaster for China. But for me, without that time, he won't have to left the monastery. Then we have no way to meet each other. I always feel it's the destiny that bring him.
Brought you together.
being blessed together, and really a big bless where I cannot imagine without meeting him what my life will be.
How long did you study with him?
For nearly 10 years then, he got a telegram say, you have to come back, we have to rebuild the monastery. I said, what are we going to do? He said, you have to visit me. I began to visit him in my winter and summer vacations. So it was then in the monastery, he began to put me on water fast for 100 days.
Can we talk about that?
I drink just water.
So a water fast means you just drink water.
It's not exactly. The first 20 days, I have a little jujube, that is Chinese dates, 3 dates a day. So it's like little ones. Then just water. Then about 20 days before I finish, he began to bring some juice, then some little soup, something a little more solid, but most just water. The purpose is for purifications of the qi. As soon as we're born, we're pure, then we begin to be either physically or materially or mentally, we begin to be so-called polluted. The little boy or girls, when they are 3, 5 years old, actually their third eyes are wide open. They may say, oh, Papa, I see Grandma talking to me yesterday. Don't lie, they're dead already, blah, 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 right? Then with this chronic, constant suppression, then that function stops. So that's just one example. We have so many potential energies, pure, but because of the social life and social rules, all get polluted.
What came to you from that experience? Did it transform you in some way? I know you said it was for purification, but what did it do personally for you?
He guided me different practice, meditations, chantings.
Wow.
When he left, he put the incense on the rice bowl. In another hour, it will be pitch dark. And it is a few lives experience, I have to say. Because it's like you, for this 100 days, I have experienced so many experiences that I cannot accomplish with one life in the real life. We all experience mentally sadness, worry, anger, lonely, all this. I have all of them. 100% or 500,000 times more intense than you have in the real life. Physically, you feel painful, you feel itchiness, cold. Actually, the hardest one is the itchiness because it feels like a million mosquitoes is biting on you.
So you're
Really.
saying just the intensity of everything, of
Yeah,
your
extreme.
feelings, your emotions, your body. You're just so much more aware of it because you're in the darkness.
And it's also a way of transform it into a peacefulness. But you have to go through this hell.
And the entire time you're practicing all that you've learned in order to go through all of it and come to that place of peacefulness.
I surrender. Even if I'm dying, I go through it. So we surrender after that difficult time, then you don't know why. It's all of a sudden, it's like you go, all this dark cloud, like boom, all of a sudden, this beautiful sky. I feel so peaceful. And slowly you return back to your awareness in this life again.
Wow.
Is there a significance to 100 days?
100 days is not exactly 100 days. It's like
Okay.
length of time. In Chinese, we say by 100 days. It's not 100 days exactly. It is meaning you need some time, some kung fu time.
I was going to say kung fu.
Kung fu time. Very for
Well,
this.
and it was like the death of who you were into who you have become. In many
And that surrender, that
It's a surrender that reveal your true self, or suppressed by your ego, by your fear, by your joy. Sometimes even joy can suppress your true self to relieve. So when your true self is relieved, a lot of potential energies relieved. And different people, they have different specialties. Some are very good at clairvoyance. They do the medium reading. Some are good at healing. Some are good healing with only one specific disease, blood pressure. So all this goes to a different personality. So after I finished 100 days, I already begin to feel so energetic. I was not eating too much, just water. I don't feel weak at all. When I return to the normal life, I don't look like bony, skinny, lose a bit of weight, but not like you're not eating because I have body breathing and there's a lot of nutrients in the air. All this purify your energy, then make your true energies always a potential power reveal. Then by zapping, because when I put my hands on some people, especially some energy points, it feels like electricity. I think my master realized this because I had this before I met him. It's like a gift.
Yes.
I was the last student of him, and he said, you need to go to the university. I can major English. In 1982, I passed the entrance exam, then I went to a university to major English, American literature, English literature. And afterwards, my dean said, do you want to stay in the university and teaching?
We're so led. Look at how you were led to all of these different abilities, right? All on purpose where you are. And so what ended up getting you to America?
At 28, I began to teach in my spare time, teach my college students. They love Qigong. So I put a poster, and some students, they practice. Then the campus began to feel it's too small to hold this. I have another partner. We feel we need to have a bigger environment. So I quit the job in the university. Okay. Then we went to another island called Hainan Island. So we went to that island and I began to teach Qigong, doing treatment. We have a VIP clinic because there's an institute called CHIRD, China Hainan Institute of Reform and Development. It's like a think tank for the central government. They host seminar, symposiums, inviting professors from Harvard, inviting officials. I meet a lot of high-profile people as my patients. One of them is Bob Hawke. He passed away a few years ago. Bob Hawke is Prime Minister of Australia. And he's very open. He's a very charming man. After they did treatment, he said, wow, man, that's amazing. And can you help my daughter? I said, what happened to your daughter? Chronic fatigue syndrome. That's in 1994. He flew his daughter to China. Then we did her treatment. I taught her different exercises. She was totally recovered.
Robert, when you meet with someone like that, how do you work with them? So do you have a technique, like a routine that you actually walk through with that person? And is it a combination of energetic frequency that you can feel where their illness may be for people who are trying to understand how, it can actually help someone, and then the exercises that they can actually learn and use themselves?
The treatment is, of course, I have some certain routine. Normally, we chat a little bit, and then we put it on the massage table. I begin to work on them. As soon as I begin to work, I put myself in the flow of intuitions to guide me where I should focus on what meridians, what organs, what is the cause that make her sick. They can be all different. I just follow my intuition, my hands lead. The one thing they're surprised, I said, especially pain, because my God, it didn't tell you that I have pain here. That you should just go there.
So you can sense, your body, hands just immediately are drawn to those areas.
Right. We don't do diagnose, because one thing very important is that I need to build a connections of the qi between me and the patients. That's what I teach too. I have 14 days of intensive workshop to train the healer. One thing very important is that you build up a platform that you can have communications with the qi of your clients or patients. The communication of the qi is the key. So when it's communicated, then it's so easy to flow. And the patient feels like it's resourceful. Vacation after one session. My God, it feels like 2 weeks of vacation in some way. But on the other hand, it's not that I do the treatment. I heal her. It's her own healing power awakened. That's why I always need my patients to practice Qigong, because my work is just initiative. They keep practicing to make it sustainable, to make it transformed in the end.
And how do you tell them to do that? How do they practice?
I do workshop. I have the Omega Institute, Kripalu. We do weekend workshop. Like in my book, actually the book is the essence of the practice. So that's the essence of align three dantians energy, wisdom, love, vitality, align with central meridian, which is the energy of harmony. Because if they're not aligned, it's like you have three big bars. They're fighting all the time. Nowadays, especially because some people, they feel terrible. But if they have the test, everything's okay. It's because the harmonizations is not there. So my book, The Master Key, is to develop all three dantians, but also central meridian, which can make the three working as one team. So I do this workshop for 5 days in Omega. I have 17 weeks of online courses that slowly develop. It's not simple, just like 10 minutes to teach them. It's progressive to make you awaken your awareness of the wisdom qi, your loving qi, vitality qi, how to use hologram palm empowerment to make them empowerment. We use the lotus meditation to bring you oceans of loving qi, feeling blessed by your own loving qi. And all these practices to make us in a stable way, to become truly of yourself, of being happy about yourself. happy about your energy internally, because we cannot control outside. Actually, the way to control outside is that you keep yourself centered. Then you exude really beautiful qi. This beautiful qi can change. You don't have to really force to change. Your being, your existence there are giving the changing transformative qi to the world already. So that's why we want to bring internally, from inside out, you exude qi. People cannot change you.
What everyone needs to know is your book, The Master Key, you outline and you actually illustrate how to do. And now, of course, you do have all of these available as courses that are online, and people can also go to Omega and take these workshops with you. And even if they did that, you'd still want to have this book because it's a guidebook into everything that we're talking about today in terms of what is Qigong, and then how do you incorporate and practice on a daily basis. And a question that we have, is there an exercise that you can share with us while we're talking right now to show people the actual qi that they have within them in a more tangible way?
I have a practice in my book is changing the finger length.
Yes.
It's not really a Qigong practice, but it's a fun game to witness your own energies connecting with the mental force. You want to try this?
Yes.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
First, let's take your hands, then look at the wrist on your hands, both wrists, the lines.
Which I never acknowledged or was aware of these lines. I never looked at them.
So you can match them. So you see this finger same length. If not,
Yeah.
you can adjust it. This purpose is to get the reference line anyway. So they're the same length now, at least from this reference here. Okay, now put down one of your hands and keep the other hand fingers straight but relaxed. Not too stiff, not too floppy, just straight and relaxed. Don't do anything, just thinking. Thinking this hand fingers are growing longer, getting long, longer, grow longer. Try to feel the feelings between the joints of your fingers. Keep growing longer, shooting out into the ceilings, shooting out into the sky, growing long, 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 longer, longer, long, long, longer. Good. All right, now take out the hands again. Now you can open the eyes, match them again.
I mean, yours really grew. Mine grew.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That is crazy. And you can feel it. You can actually feel
You really feel it. So what happens when you're thinking? Because that's the interesting thing. We didn't shake our hands or pull in our fingers. In other words, we didn't put any external force on our fingers. What we did was just thinking. We think, then there's some change. Now we know the mind force really working on us. There's another way why we should cultivate things from inside. The same thing happens to us. Some people feel it's like disaster. Some people feel peaceful. Not something outside. So when we're talking about immune system, right? That's easy to understand for every people. If your immune system is strong, even the environment is a bit polluted, you won't get sick. So if we use this example to make it deeper, if you yourself have a beautiful mind, then you find everybody is a god or goddess, truly. Because in Buddhism, they have a beautiful saying. They say, what is the projection of your mind? So if you have a dirty mind, everything is dirty. If you have a beautiful mind, it may suffer a little bit, but in the end, it will exhaust beautiful qi, benefit for yourself, benefit for your ego, for your communities. That is, there's a different layers of Buddhist eyes. So when your eye level high, then you achieve more internally and externally too. You witness and say, well, what happens? What happens is the qi through our mind begin to work. Then of course, all Qigong practice is very sophisticated practice to make this kind of work really cultivating our true self, the energy.
It enables us to, as you said, heal ourselves. And the more that we can do that and bring that energy into the world, then we are part of healing the world, right? If we can heal ourselves using what feels like magic, but we're magic.
What is magic? It's something
Right?
you don't think you can do, then you can do. But actually you can. We have all this potential power and ability.
And you saw that even as that child, taking an axe to your master and not hurting him, and then seeing that It was actually, you were
It was
actually hitting the
a
tree.
big hit.
We don't realize how powerful we are.
Yeah.
I feel like what I love about your book so much, because when I first got it, I looked at it and I was like, look through these photos of you, and you can see how this chi light can be directed and channeled in so many different ways. With your teacher, that was one way, but then obviously through being able to heal ourselves and feel better. Just having this, Robin and I were calling this is like your Jedi handbook.
Thank you.
It feels like that for
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
listening or watching. It just feels like a Jedi. I think everybody should have it. I really do.
Yeah. So to continue your story, how I made it to America is that because of this connection with Bob Hawke, I was invited to go to Australia. So I was in Australia for 7 years teaching Qigong. Then I have a patient from America. She had ovarian cancer.
She had ovarian cancer.
Ovarian cancer. She had operations. She had a chemotherapy. Then she herself was very spiritual. She said, "Do you want to come to New York?" So 2001. I made the trip. The long story short, it's really the center of the universe. I was very attracted to New York. Then a few years later, I settled in New York, and then we began to see patients. I did the teaching. I attended the National Qigong Association. They invited me to do the keynote speaking and Omega.
Wow.
Then make home here with
Wow. And as you said, you could never have imagined as that little
way.
boy ending up in America, having taught hundreds and thousands of people now and loving it so much. I think that's the other part. First of all, your energy in itself, but that you are so fulfilled. You are so at peace, and that you'd want to do this in every lifetime. That is such a testament in itself.
I agree. It's just so beautiful. I'm so happy that I have the chance to share it.
Robert, would you say Qigong, is it hard to learn? Do your students feel like it's challenging at first to learn, and then the more they experience, the easier it gets? I'm looking at your book right now. There's so much here. There's so many different practices that I just wonder, do people feel overwhelmed initially with all of the opportunity there is with these tools, or do you feel like it's just a natural progression as they
It's opposite.
learn?
Actually, it's so easy to access. Versus to yoga, there's a joke. They say, you want to practice yoga, you have to be a yogi first, right? This posture is so challenging. Qigong, of course, there are different layers. Some are very difficult. But to start, the practice in my book, even I train the healers. Some people, before they enroll, they say, oh, I have never done Qigong before. I am ill. Can I do it? By all means, you can all start right away. And the practice Qigong, you don't need to have a yoga mat. You can do any place. There's no requirement physically. You just need your time, need your awareness. And when you're more advanced, you don't even need to be just sitting there doing meditation. You can do meditation even walking. Like we call Qigong, another nickname is moving meditation. So all moving, even the shaking, they are meaningful in energy. It's a formless, beautiful practice combined with some form. Where some hardcore, you have to follow very strongly, that you don't do it wrong. And also there's some up to your personality, you develop your style. Qigong meditation make it beautiful. So we bring awareness, just simple shaking. Sometimes I shake for half an hour, 2 hours, leading to different organs, different parts of the even nose, my ears dropping to the ears like cartoon movie. It's already so rich and intuitive. So it's very easy to start, to access. And then it depends on different directions. Someone wants to be more hard Qigong, so I train you. Then you take a big marbles, smash on your head, you're smiling, right? We call it iron shirt, bulletproof, this kind of. The others is more healing, the others is more peaceful. So they are all different diversities, but all started with the awareness of qi, with the breathing, with a certain posture, and the awareness of your own qi. When that three things are combined together, you're doing qigong. Then the simple movement is way more healing than you going to the gym.
I mean, I think you're pointing out to people, though, that because I don't think, especially in America, we are taught to be aware of each of our organs, or that we can actually just simply by shaking, that is movement. And that is just as important as you're talking about with going to the gym for however long and doing certain movements, like moving the different parts of your body that don't get moved a lot. is
Right.
moving the energy, and that the power within us is so strong. And so if you can channel it in this way for healing and for good, then you can truly transform your life and your health.
That's true.
So much here, and just opening our eyes to the possibilities that we don't even know of being able to heal ourselves and be in charge of our own energy,
Yeah.
which
The
Rob
healing
and I
is
always
all
say,
from
like,
within. All things coming from inside. Of course, it's a way of how we deal with this external world versus internal world. But the internal world is rich and cultivated, no matter how rich you are. I have a lot of rich clients, they're not happy. Then they say, what happened? They say, we don't have good heart energy, right? When heart energy is good. Of course, we always want to make a better material life, but there's limit. Oh, we don't need that much. Then you are satisfied internally. Sometimes just a few breathing, you feel ecstasy. You don't need a Mercedes-Benz to satisfy. It's just like for a few seconds. Give me some ecstasy, breathing, you got it. Instant, handy, right? Follow with you and free.
I think we all need to hear that now more than ever. The more people can go inside and find that peace and that healing, as you said, then the external won't impact them as much on a daily basis as I think a lot of people right now are feeling. I'm so glad that we're having this conversation, that we are learning more about Qigong. There's so much to learn. And as you said, it is easy. We don't have to look at it as something that's hard. It's something that we can start right away.
Truly.
Thank you
great.
so much, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
We're
you.
so grateful. And so for anybody that wants to find out more about Robert's books and his latest offerings, go to robertpeng.com. That's ROBERTPENG.com. And we'll have that in our show notes as well. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Karen.